بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Welcome to lecture number 13 in the reading module this semester. Now it's the end of this course. I hope that you found this course really useful and helpful. Today we are going to talk about analyzing suffixes. We have talked about this topic before, and we mentioned that suffixes can tell us or can indicate parts of speech. Parts of speech such as nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. We've looked at some suffixes that indicate nouns and verbs as well, and also adjectives. Today we are going to look at some more suffixes. These suffixes, as you can see, we have 3 today. So eyes here, I-Z-E or I-S-E. And that means if you find this suffix at the end of any word, then chances are this is a verb. Right? This is a verb. So these or this morpheme, this suffix indicates verbs, and it means to cause or become or make. For example, we have the word category. Category. What is the verb from the word or noun category? Is to categorize. Categorize. So this is the suffix at the end. That tells us that this is a verb, and it means to make categories, basically. To make categories. Yeah, to make categories. Categorize. Also, we have another example here, which is organization. If you want to make a verb out of this word, you just add I-Z-E, and you get organize. Organize. So to be, and if you add D, it's organized. Then that will be an adjective. All right, so organize, so to cause something to be organized. All right, so fit in place. Another suffix that we have today is ate, and it means to make something have a particular quality. Active, for example, the word active. What's the verb of the word active? It's activate. We just add ate. And that means to make something active. So to make something active, activate. All right? So for example, if you have a feature on the computer that is gray, it is not activated. So you have to activate this feature. Click on it, and then it's like colors. You can click on it. It's activated. Also, captive, captivate. We add ate. Abbreviate, as in abbreviation. We studied abbreviations like, for example, IE or EG. These are called abbreviations. What is the verb from the word abbreviation? It's abbreviate. All right, so once you see this ATE at the end, chances are this is a verb. Adverbs, really easy, LY or double LY. The word beautiful is a popular one. So if you, for example, if you can say this room is beautiful. If you want to make an adjective, you just add double LY. An example, this room is beautifully decorated. Beautifully decorated. So beautifully is an adverb. Great, we know something good, something great. Greatly, we just add LY, and so on. So you add LY, and then you get adverbs. You get adverbs. So X has greatly influenced Y. X and Y can be really anything. So X greatly influenced or affected Y. Let's say the accident greatly influenced my performance, and so on. All right, now let's move to the next topic, which is globalization and food. This will be the last, probably the last passage, the last reading selection that we are going to read together. And in this passage, we have a number of vocabulary items categorized into nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverb, and expressions. Let's read the nouns. First, benefit, consumer, extinction, fuel, livestock, nutrients, obstacle, priority, shift, and staples. The verbs: contribute, shift. Adjectives: endangered, processed. All right, adverbs, or we have only one adverb. Approximately, notice this ly, approximately. An expression: in turn, in turn. Now let's read the passage together. Of course, read silently. It's better to read silently. And then, if you want to know how these paragraphs are read, then just listen to me. All right. Globalization and food. We often hear about the world's changing diet. The world's changing diet. And we think of this as a modern concept. But in a sense, the human diet has always been changing. The banana, for example, whose origins appear to be in the region that today is Malaysia, traveled to India, where Alexander the Great first tasted it, and his soldiers brought it back to Greece in about 350 before the birth of Christ. The potato had been grown in South America for thousands of years before the Spanish brought it back to Europe in 1570. Increasing travel and trade in turn took both the banana and the potato to all corners of the world. It is true, however, that globalization is changing our diet faster than ever before. We've got some nice words here, for example, nice expressions like in turn. So X happened, then in turn something else happened. You have the word always here, written in italics. Can you ask yourself, why is it written in italics? You need to ask yourself these questions as you read. Always, we know that italics can be, we can use italics to emphasize something, or if it's a strange or foreign word. In this case, what is it? It's emphasis. Emphasis. So that when we read it, we say, the human diet has always been changing. So we want to emphasize on something. Okay? Yeah. Let's move to the second paragraph. Our diet today. In several ways, our modern diet differs from that of our great-great-grandparents. Today, we have access to more kinds of foods from other countries. The favorite food of many people worldwide? Pizza. These days, we also have more fast foods and more take-out foods than in the past. More people are moving to urban areas where they spend a lot of time both working and commuting to work. So there is less time to cook. Buying fast food and take-out food saves consumers time. And it also saves the cost of cooking fuel. Another change in the modern diet is a shift from traditional staples, that is, basic important foods, to more processed foods, which have chemicals or colorings added to preserve them, improve the taste, or make them look attractive. In many countries, foods that were staples in the past, such as tubers and root vegetables, are often replaced by rice, and rice in turn is replaced by wheat products like ready-made bread, which doesn't have as many nutrients as the traditional tubers. Now, we ask ourselves as we read, what is the main idea of this paragraph and what are some supporting details? As you read, always ask yourself, what is the main idea? What is it that the author wants to tell me in this reading selection, in this paragraph? What is it that the author wants to say in 1 or 2 sentences? What is it? You should be able to say, well, this is just an example. These are supporting details. This is the general sentence, and the rest of the sentences support that sentence. So, that sentence is the main idea. Now, answer for yourself and then play the video again. And the answer is? It's the first one, the first sentence. In several ways, our modern diet differs from that of our great-great-grandparents. I think this is the main idea. Why? Let's read the rest of the sentences. This one is general. All right? This is a general sentence. Today, let's read, we have access to more kinds of food from all over the world, from other countries. All right? These days, we also have more fast foods. So again, now this is comparing the past to the present. This second sentence also compares the present to the past. And now another change, so that's example number 3. Right? Here we have example number 1. Somewhere here number 2. That's number 3 here. Yeah, so people now move to urban areas, so they don't have time to cook. Yeah, so they don't have time to cook. All right, that's another change also. Another change, you see, so now we have examples. Another change in the modern diet is a shift from staples to processed foods. So from staples like, let's say, basic important foods like, let's say, carrots, potatoes, whatever, right, to processed foods like pepperoni, maybe, like sausages, all right, and other types of processed foods, like some ready-made burgers, for example. All right, so they have chemicals added or coloring added to them to preserve them. So this is what's meant by processed foods. Foods that have chemicals or colorings added to them. How do we know that? Because we have commas here. Okay? All right. In many countries, foods that were staples in the past, such as tubers and root vegetables, are often replaced by rice. So that's another change. So as you can see, all of these are examples. These are examples of this sentence. All right? So that tells us that this is the main idea. These are supporting details. All right, next paragraph. Loss of variety. Visit an international food court in almost any country, and it might seem that we have a great variety of foods than in the past. You will find foods from Mexico, Thailand, Japan, Italy, India, Korea, China, and the United States, and so on. Our great-great-grandparents did not have access to so many cuisines. Surprisingly, though, there are far fewer varieties of many foods than in the past. Imagine our great-great-grandparents may have tasted types of rice, corn, potatoes, or bananas that we will never experience. For example, according to primalseeds.org, there were 8,000 traditional varieties of rice in China in 1949. By 1970, there were only 50. In the Philippines, too, thousands of kinds of rice have been lost. Mexico has lost approximately 80% of its varieties of maize. There are also thousands of other food crops, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and honey, and varieties of livestock, such as sheep and chickens, that are on the path to extinction. Unlike our ancestors, we might never have the opportunity to taste Melipona bee honey from Argentina, Amasakari pumpkin from Japan, Ribera vanilla orange from Italy, or Dominique chicken from the United States. As a well-known agricultural anthropologist, Dr. Jeff Bentley says, our generation is killing ancient crops which fed the Incas, the Mayans, the Sumerians, and the Tang dynasty. What is the main idea and supporting details again? There is one main idea, big idea, and then we have examples. Read and tell me which sentence or two gave the main idea and which ones give the supporting details, just giving examples or details. And the answer is here. Surprisingly, there are far fewer varieties of many foods than in the past. So now, today, we have fewer varieties. In the past, we had more varieties. Okay, now I think this is the main idea because it's general. And the rest of the sentences are what? Examples. Now this again doesn't write well. Okay, these are examples. So for example, our great-grandparents, they tasted many types of rice, whatever, that we will never experience. That's number one, supporting details number one. Then number two, according to this, in the past there were 8,000 traditional varieties of rice in China. All right, now we only have 50, so that's another example. In the Philippines too, so that's number three, right? Or four? Number three, yes. Thousands of kinds of rice have been lost. That's number four. Mexico has lost approximately whatever. All right, so that's number five. You see? So we have examples. We have only examples. These are examples. These are not general ideas. They all give examples of this sentence. So that tells us that this is the main idea, because the rest of the sentences give support to this sentence. All right, so as you read, you have more examples. So unlike our ancestors, we might never have the opportunity to taste these examples, these foods. Okay? Yeah, again, same. So just telling us, these examples tell us that in the past there were more varieties of food. So it's this sentence. I hope that it's clear. Now let's move to causes of disappearing varieties. Why are varieties of so many foods disappearing worldwide? The key reason is that farmers are replacing traditional varieties with modern ones, partly because these modern varieties are popular and partly because they are easy to ship to distant countries. Big industrial agriculture contributes to the problem. Huge international companies are buying small family farms and shifting to newer and fewer crops, but in great quantities. According to the Rainforest Conservation Fund, in the past, agriculture in different regions of the world was independent and local. Now, however, much of it has become part of the global exchange economy. The seed industry contributes to the problem too. It contributes to the problem too. Much of the seed that farmers plant is now produced by only 3 huge companies, and they sell only a few varieties. The difficulty of finding a variety of seeds is an obstacle to farmers who want to plant traditional crops. Okay, according to the reading selection, what are some causes of disappearing varieties? This is a comprehension question. What are some reasons or some causes of disappearing varieties? Just go back, try to underline the reasons. Once you're done, you have the answer here. So that's number 1. The key reason is that farmers are replacing traditional varieties with modern ones. That's the first one. So now people like the modern varieties of food, not the traditional ones. Okay? Of course, partly because whatever. That's number 2. Big industrial agriculture contributes to the problem too. So basically, big industrial agriculture, that is huge international companies. Huge international companies, they buy small family farms, yeah? And then they change what they are used to do. They change the way the farm works. And then they use only fewer crops, but in great quantities. So for example, rice, only rice. They buy all the farms that produce different kinds of fruits and vegetables, and they only plant rice in great quantities to sell more. According to Rainforest, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's an example. And then here, that's number 3. The seed industry contributes to the problem too. So this is the seed industry, seeds that you plant. And then this explains what that means, basically. All right, so there are only 3 companies selling seeds. So that adds to the problem, contributes to the problem. Okay. The story of 2 crops. Why should we be concerned? 2 crops, the potato and the banana, illustrate the root of the problem. In the 19th century, much of Europe, especially poor people, became dependent on potatoes as their main food source. However, only a few of the thousands of varieties of potato in the Americas had been introduced in Europe. When a terrible plant disease swept through Western Ireland in 1845, the potato crop failed. There were no other healthy variety to replace it. Over the next 7 years, approximately 1 million people died of starvation. Hunger drove over 1 million more to immigrate from Ireland. Today, industrial agriculture might be causing a similar problem with the banana. There are about 300 varieties of bananas or banana, but in much of the world, people have access to exactly one, the Cavendish. If disease sweeps through the Cavendish crop, people in many countries will no longer have bananas on their breakfast table. Localization, this is the last paragraph. The solution. It's not too late, however, to save some of these endangered crops. The buy local movement is encouraging people to support farmers near their home. These are farmers who often grow less common varieties of food. An additional benefit for consumers at farmers' market is that the food is fresh and full of nutrients because it hasn't been shipped around the world. Also, a priority of several organizations, such as the Slow Food Foundation, is to collect seeds of endangered varieties and encourage local farmers to plant them. If they are successful, we have hope that one day we will be able to taste forgotten flavors, such as shellac apricot or Saskatoon berry. Now we have comprehension question. According to the paragraph, what solutions are suggested? So in this paragraph here, we have some suggestions, some solutions. It's obviously about solutions, right? This is about solution. So what solutions are suggested? Pause the video, answer, and then play the video again. And the answer? That's the first one. The buy local movement is encouraging people to support farmers near their home. So buy local, don't buy from big companies, because big companies only produce one variety or two varieties. But with local farmers near your home, they produce many varieties. So buy local, this is a movement, people's movement. Buy local, buy from the farmers around your home. So if you do that, you will support the world by making, or you will support farmers who are producing many varieties of food. So you are part of the solution. Another suggestion that is given here, okay, is to collect seeds of endangered varieties of food. So you have endangered varieties. Danger, we know what it is. Danger, endangered, and then ed, so we know it's an adjective. So endangered varieties, varieties that are in danger. In danger of extinction, of course. Extinction. Yeah. So if you know someone who has, an endangered variety of food, so it can be any kind of fruit that is rare, that is endangered, that is on the path of extinction, then we collect these seeds and then encourage farmers to plant them. So that's another solution to the problem. Yeah? So buy local and then give those farmers seeds of endangered varieties of food, and then ask them to plant them. So that's another suggestion that is given. Okay, now as you read this reading selection, you may have noticed that we have some words like, we have thousands of examples here. Okay. Key, for example, the word key here. And what else? Distant places, distant countries, for example. Also the word face as well. These examples have what we call literal meaning, but they also have what we call figurative meaning. Figurative meaning. The word corner as well, as I remember. The word corner at the very beginning. Yeah? All of these words have literal meaning. Okay? Literal meaning. So translating letter by letter. Sometimes they have figurative meaning. Figurative meaning. So it's an indirect meaning. Let's look at this example. The woman with the sad face, face here is the part of the body, is worried about how to face the future. To face the future. Now, obviously, face here does not mean that part of the body. It's just a figurative use. Figurative use. In figurative use. Only, also in Arabic we have that as well. Yeah, to face the future. To face the difficulties. To face difficulties and so on. So, some words can be used can be used with their literal meaning and sometimes with their figurative meanings. Now let's look at these examples and answer them. We have underlined words like corners here, path, and key. These words have literal meaning, but they also have figurative meaning. Here they have figurative meanings, and I want you to highlight the correct answer. I want you to select the option that best describes the meaning presented here. So, for example, corners. One of you might say, well, corner points where two walls meet. We have two walls, they meet, this is a corner. That is correct. But is it the meaning that is given here? No. Points where two roads meet. Is it the meaning given here? Read the sentence. No, it's not. Distant places, let's see. Difficult positions from which there is no escape. All right, so sometimes, for example, you have an argument with someone, and that person has good arguments. So figuratively, you are in a corner or edges. All right? And then here, path. The path, for example, it can be a road, right? A road where we can walk. Or it can be, a way. Or it can be an area in front of a moving thing or person. Or a field in which farmers grow plants, or way, or line that something moves along, path. These are options. And then key, metal instrument, the key that we use to open the doors. But is that the meaning given here? This is the key reason that varieties of many foods are disappearing. Are we here referring to the key? Or are we referring to main? So it can be used figuratively. Let's see. The answers are corners of the world, distant places. Then path, is away. So thousands of food crops are on the way to extinction. Here, key. This is the key reason. Key reason is the main reason. We are not referring to the key, the middle key. We are referring to main, so this is used figuratively. Number 4, illustrate. Root. Again, root, it can be a part of the plant, or it can be used figuratively as well. Swept and drove. Translate them and guess what is meant by these words here. What is meant by these words here? And the answers are: illustrate are examples of. If you illustrate, you can be drawing, for example. All right? These are called illustrations. Okay? But we are not talking about decoration. We're not talking about drawings. We're not talking about photographs. We are talking about examples. So they illustrate. Two verbs give examples why we should worry. Root. We are not referring to part of the plant that is under, the soil. We are talking about the cause. So the possibility of crop failure is the cause of the problem. The cause of the problem, the root of the problem. We use that even in Arabic. Swept became suddenly popular. Drove. We know drive as in drive a car, but is that what we meant by hunger? So being hungry, drove 1 million people to immigrate from Ireland. So did hunger, being hungry, drive the people to immigrate? That doesn't make sense. So it is used figuratively, caused. So hunger caused 1 million people to immigrate to other countries. All right. Now, in the reading selection here, some words are written in blue and bold. All right? Contributes as well. What else? Shifting. Obstacle. Yeah? Extinction. Livestock. Now I want to make sure that you understand the meaning of these words. So I want you to answer this exercise for me. This one. Just find me the words that mean these. Find me words. A word that means advantage. So we go back and it's benefits. One, an additional advantage for consumers, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So now I want you to give me words that are in blue that mean change, helps to cause something to happen, something that produces heat or power. After that, something that prevents success, people who buy things, substances, such as vitamins in foods, the situation when something such as plant or animal dies completely, something that is more important than other things, and animals used for food. Once you have answered, just pause the video. Once you have answered, play the video again and check your answers. I'm going to show you the answers now straight away. And the answers are: shift, to change. Helps something to cause something to happen. Contribute. It helps to cause something to happen. Something that produces heat, fuel. After that, in turn. In turn. Something that prevents success, obstacle. X can be an obstacle that prevents you from success. People who buy things, consumers, and we had this word before. substances, nutrients, the situation when something, or such as plants or animal, dies completely, extinction, something that is more important than other things, priority, and finally, animals used for food are called livestock. All right, I think this is the end of this lecture. I hope that you found it useful. In the reading, in all of the reading selections that we have, we learn new words. These new words are important for you because after this course, hopefully next year or next semester, you are going to study linguistic courses, literature courses as well. So you need to build your vocabulary. And this course helps you a lot to learn vocabulary items about different different topics and different areas, basically. Yeah, thank you very much for your attention, and see you in lecture number 14, inshallah.